Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Doria, I am an English teacher, and today I will talk about paraphrasing in IELTS. So, what is paraphrasing? In paraphrasing, you can take whole sentences or even whole paragraphs and use different words, different phrasing, that is, in order to describe and express the same meaning as the original. You take the original meaning of a sentence or a paragraph and you express it in a new form, in your own words, okay? So, why is paraphrasing so important in IELTS? Because it is used very much, especially in listening and reading. For example, in listening, you may hear the correct answer, but on paper, this same answer will probably be paraphrased. You're not always going to hear the exact same words that you will see on paper. So you have to be careful not to wait to hear the same words, but the same meaning. This tip is very useful for a multiple choice exercise where you have to choose the correct answer among other options and not write something you hear by yourself. Now, in reading, as we said, we have the three passages, but in the tasks, no matter what kind of task, sometimes the questions and the language used are sentences or even whole paragraphs of the original text paraphrased. In this case, you have to be able to connect the paraphrased information with the original text and then choose the correct answer. In the third passage of reading especially, lots of people say that it is a little bit more difficult because it is a little bit longer or the content might be more challenging, but this is not the case if you ask me. I think that the third passage of reading is a little bit more difficult because there is a lot of paraphrasing going on in the tasks. So it really helps if you're familiar with paraphrasing, either doing it yourself in some kind of practice or be able to recognize it, which is the correct paraphrasing and which is the false one of a sentence or a paragraph, you know what I mean? And as a general rule, it doesn't really matter if you do one practice test after the other, but what it really matters is to try to learn the language better, a little bit better as a whole, and try to focus on your own weaknesses. And you are the only one who knows your weaknesses. Now, let's see an example of paraphrasing in order for you to be even more familiar with it. Now, let's read an extract that we will then paraphrase. Okay, first of all, we read, environmental activists have said they feared that global warming will cause the rise of sea level that could lead to hurricanes and floods. Okay, now what I want you to do even before paraphrasing or before searching if something is correctly paraphrased or anything, is to just give a look at the syntax, because the syntax is the one that is going to guide you into correct paraphrasing. Alright? So first of all, don't do this usual mistake that activists feared the global warming. Well, of course they fear global warming, but this is our common sense. Here, they do not fear global warming per se. What they fear is that global warming will cause the rise of sea levels that will lead to hurricanes and floods. What they actually fear, so, is hurricanes and floods. Because these are going to be the consequences for the planet and actually the people that live in the planet. Okay, so if you're not sure about something, when you want to see if something is correctly paraphrased or if you want to paraphrase something yourself, it really helps if you ask questions in order to understand the syntax a little bit better and then paraphrase it as you want. Alright? As you can understand, there are millions of ways that we can paraphrase one single paragraph, and each person is going to paraphrase it differently and it will be correct. So there's no right or wrong, but you have to be careful to use the syntax correctly in order not to violate the original meaning of the text, okay? And so, as to give an example, this is how this is one way out of millions in which we can paraphrase the previous paragraph. So we read, the rising of the level of the sea caused by global warming will lead to hurricanes and floods, according to environmental activists. Because, you know, the important information here is what kind of consequences will be caused by the sea level, by the rising of the sea level, and that is hurricanes and floods. And this information here is more important than the fear of environmental activists, for example, okay? What I want you to do, I will put the original text, the original extract in the description down below, and if you like, you can do your own paraphrasing of the original text and just put in the comment section your own way of seeing paraphrasing. That is a nice way of practicing this, and I will tell you, I will answer to you if it's okay, if it has any mistakes or anything. If you like, you can do that. I will put that in the description. I think it will be a very good practice for you in order to be familiar with paraphrasing. There is no better way for that unless you do it yourself. Now, in listening and reading, you have to connect the paraphrasing with the tasks and be able to tell the difference and choose correct answers. But in writing, you have to kind of use paraphrasing yourself. Don't worry, it won't be difficult, and you need to do that only in the introductions. But we will speak more thoroughly about that when we enter the writing section, which is my favorite. Okay, well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please do leave them down below, or any comments or anything, and I would really like you to put your own paraphrasing piece down there. You can always follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Google Plus for more vocabulary every day. Good luck with the exam!